Hello, Soulflame here, playing my Destruction Warlock Soulmonger. Today I'll be giving you a quick run-through of the DPS Silver mode of the Proving Grounds, which is what you will need to queue for heroics using the Group Finder tool. Giving you a quick look there at my glyphs and my talents so that you can see what I'm using. I'll cover those more in depth as we go. The countdowns you'll see before each round, as well as all the alerts and warnings you see pop up as we go along, are provided by the Proving Grounds module of the DBM add-on. If you don't already have it, I suggest you get it. I'm using the Observer pet, which is the one that has the interrupt. That's the one you'll want to use. One of the keys of playing Destruction Warlock is pulling up your burning embers and then spinning them. So be sure to make good use of your shadow burn to generate lots of embers. There are two basic mob types in round one. The first and your primary target is the Defender, who creates a shield that blocks all attacks from the front. You can see that ability there. The second is a Slayer. He has no special abilities and we'll kill him second. The first thing I do as the round starts is to get Immolate ticking on both targets. You can use the cast time of Immolate to use your mouse to switch targets. Once you have your dots rolling on both targets, you'll want to use Incinerate to bring them low. Once you get your target below 20%, Shadow Burn will become available. You can use that to quickly finish off your enemies and generate embers. As we start round two, we once again have two basic types of mobs. We have a small Slayer out front and a bunch of varmints in the back there. As per usual, the first thing we want to do is to get Immolate running on everybody. To do that, I cast it single target on the Slayer, and then I use Fire and Brimstone to simultaneously cast it on all of the varmints. I used the cast time of that second Immolate to pre-position my Rain of Fire and dropped it on the group as soon as Immolate finished casting. Round 3, once again, has two basic types of mobs. We have the small Slayers that we're familiar with, and a new type called an Amber Weaver. The Amber Weaver has an ability called Amber Globule that summons a big orange ball, as you see there. If that globule hits something, it stuns it and causes it to take extra damage. So not only will you want to avoid it, but you can use it against your enemies. As always, our basic strategy is to get our dots rolling, then use Incinerate to bring the target low, and use Shadow Burn to finish them off.
4, 3.
Round 4, once again, has two types of mobs. This time we have a large Amber Weaver, and once again we have a pack of varmints up front. We're going to get Immolate up on the Amber Weaver as quickly as we can, and then we're going to put the pack of varmints between ourselves and the Amber Weaver. Once we've done that, we're going to once again use Fire and Brimstone to put Immolate on all of the varmints at once. We are once again going to use the cast time of that second Immolate to pre-position our Rain of Fire and drop it on the varmints as soon as we can. This round featured the pooling and spending I mentioned earlier. Between Chaos Bolts and the Fire and Brimstone, I actually used 6 Burning Embers during that round, and I still have 2 left.
4,
Between all those Immolates ticking away and the Rain of Fire, not to mention Shadow Burn, you should be able to generate embers very quickly. Round 5, once again, features 2 basic types of mobs. We should have the now familiar pack of varmints in the back there, and up front is a Mystic, which is a healer. It's very important to interrupt all of his heals. As the round started, I got my Immolate up on the Mystic and dropped a Rain of Fire onto the pack of varmints. As soon as I got off that interrupt on the Mystic, I unloaded a couple Chaos Bolts in him to bring him low and then used Shadow Burn to finish him off. Once the Mystic is dead, it's time to toggle back on Fire and Brimstone and use what embers you have left to quickly AoE down the varmints.
1.
Round 6 features 3 mobs, but they're all types that we're familiar with. Our top priority is the Mystic, so I'm going to stick Havoc up on the Defender and very quickly switch to him. Havoc is going to copy our next couple of spells to the Defender while we take care of the Mystic. You're going to want to do this quickly so that you can target the Mystic and interrupt his heal. The ability I'm using now is called Cataclysm. It does a big chunk of damage and puts Immolate on all of the targets within the area. It's only a 1-minute cooldown, so you can actually use it much more often than I do in this video. Although in this case I probably should have saved it for the next round. And as always, I'm using Shadow Burn when I get to execute range to quickly finish off whatever enemy I'm fighting and to generate embers. Wave 7 actually gets fairly hectic. We have 4 different types of mobs. There are 2 each of small varants and
5,
defenders.
4,
There is also an
3,
Amber Weaver and
2,
a Mystic.
1.
I've positioned myself to use the Mystic as a shield. As the round starts, I'm very quickly getting Immolate up on as many targets as I can. I make another mistake in this round. I reversed my targets. I should have put Havoc up on the defender and then attacked the Mystic. Instead I did it backwards, which is what caused that moment of confusion there as I try to cast a Chaos Bolt, but my target is dead. At any rate, once the Mystic is dead, I slide over to use the other defender to absorb the globule. Once I have a spare moment to cast, I once again get Immolate up on as many targets as I can and drop the Rain of Fire onto the pack in the middle. At this point, it's just single target down the Amber Weaver. I could and should have interrupted that, but I didn't, so I just run away from the globule as the round comes to a close. If at any point you should happen to get caught by a globule, Unbound Will can break you out.
1.
Round 8 has 3 types of mobs. You have a large Slayer and a large Mystic, and 2 Amber Weavers. I actually forgot that this is the round with 2 Amber Weavers, so I'm a little slow to react. What you should do is fear one of them right off the bat. If you do that, you only have 1 Amber Globule to dodge, and that makes the round much, much easier. Once you've crowd controlled one of the Amber Weavers, you're going to put the Mystic between you and the other Amber Weaver and focus him down as quickly as you can. As you can see here, sometimes the Amber Globules just do not want to cooperate. If you find yourself running a little more than you'd like, don't be afraid to switch targets, and remember to use Instance or kill Jaden's Cunning so that you can keep your DPS up on the move. Once you've got things to settle down, just finish out the round using a mob to shield yourself from the Amber Weaver. When that final mob goes down, congratulations, you've got your achievement. I decided to post this video, mistakes and all, so that you can see that you don't have to play perfectly to get through Silver. Good luck and thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up through YouTube, through my blog, or in-game.